Why gun control doesn't work in Chicago. Chicago is one of the places that come up in conversation when people criticize the efficiency of gun control. Of course, other factors play a massive role in whether gun control would work in Chicago or not. We are just gonna look at some of these things. Chicago has some of the toughest gun control laws in America. From the banning of military-style guns, like AKs and AR-15s, to an extensive ban on all assault weapons, you will not find any readily available firearms in the city. All firearms are locked up in a secure facility or legally owned by someone with a Michigan permit who must be present when that firearm is being carried. Besides a few Chicago neighborhoods, there are virtually no private citizens who can own what the law considers an assault weapon. Gun violence is still rampant in the city. It happens daily and has been for a few years now. While it is true that in some parts of the country, gun violence has declined, in Chicago, it has actually increased. And despite what gun control advocates try to argue, crime is not going down in the city either. An Amnesty International report indicates that there are at least 12,000 illegal guns on Chicago's streets alone. No wonder the homicide rate is so high compared to other cities of its caliber. The majority of guns used to commit crimes are obtained illegally on the black market or through straw purchases, someone who can legally buy a gun for someone else. The city does not have enough police officers on duty to stop the crime from happening. Even if the city confiscated all illegal guns and all legal guns used in crimes, it would not slow down the crime rate. The most effective way of reducing gun violence is by creating a better economy. Because dishonest political agendas get in the way of this being done, Chicago continues its downward spiral as more and more black men fall prey to criminality and gangs while they take their last breaths. Neighboring cities: Cicero, Illinois. Oak Park, Ill Berwyn, Ill Forest Park, Ill Elmwood Park, Ill River Forest, Ill Lincolnwood, Ill Lyons, Ill Maywood, Ill River Grove, Ill Summit, Ill Evergreen Park, Ill Evanston, Ill Norridge, Ill Melrose Park, Ill Cicero. In Cicero, there are already more registered guns than people. It is one of the few cities in Illinois that allows concealed carry without a state-issued permit. But what's even crazier is that it also has a tax exemption for anyone who wants to buy and use a gun, whether they need it for legal protection or not. And because this city is close to Chicago, many people get their guns here and bring them to the Windy City. Oak Park. In Oak Park, there are more registered guns than people, but the city has stricter gun control laws. This is one of the few places in the city that does not allow guns to be brought into schools. But it also has a high rate of criminals who can possess guns despite not having a permit. Berwyn. In Berwyn, there are so many guns that you can't see the sky without clouds. This city has the second highest rate of gun ownership in Illinois. There are no restrictions on magazines, and there are no waiting periods for anyone to own a gun. But crime is still prevalent in this city despite its lax laws regarding guns. Forest Park, Ill Forest Park's gun laws are stringent if you ask the residents of most cities. But there are many illegal guns on the street that are purchased from within the city limits, and the crime rate is rather high. Elmwood Park, Ill Elmwood Park has stringent laws regarding guns and permits. But some people in this city get their weapons illegally. River Forest, Ill River Forest has been known to have a lot of gun violence. But because of its strict gun laws, crime will hopefully go down in the future. Lincolnwood, Ill Lincolnwood has some of the strictest gun laws in Cook County. But there are a lot of people who lie on their permits to get around the laws. Lyons, Ill Lyon is one of the cities that have imposed harsher gun control measures than ever before. There are restrictions on magazine capacity and carrying a concealed weapon without a permit. Maywood, Ill Maywood has very liberal gun laws. But there are still some people who can obtain guns illegally. Evanston. In Evanston, you can't open carry a weapon without a permit. Maywood has one of the most liberal gun laws in the state of Illinois. But some people get illegal guns. Norridge, Ill Norridge has one of the strictest gun control laws in the city. Which means that you can't own a gun without a permit. Besides, it does not allow guns to be brought into parks or schools. Melrose Park. Melrose Park is known to have some of the strictest gun laws in Cook County. But there are many illegal guns on the street that were purchased from within the city limits, and crime is still prevalent in this place. Neighboring states: Many people come in from neighboring states to buy their guns and take them back to their hometowns. This is why Chicago has such a large population of illegal weapons. The state of Illinois does not require any form of permit or license for you to purchase a firearm, including handguns and assault weapons. Iowa. Iowa is within a 3-hour drive of Chicago and has no gun laws. The Illinois Secretary of State reported over 42,600 people on Illinois' list who were from Iowa and were not allowed to possess a firearm. The Iowa House recently passed a bill that ended permit requirements. COVID is a good example. The coronavirus was impossible to contain by locking down one area. As long as people can travel from other areas, it meant that infected people could come in. This is a perfect example of what is going on in Chicago. Stricter gun control measures within Chicago will only work if other states had similar laws. It becomes more difficult to advocate for gun control when the average citizen is concerned for their lives within the city.